Hey internets, it's Jake, and this is Mini Terrain Domain, and welcome to a special presentation of Grant Howitt's Honey Heist. This is going to be a wild, wacky, completely improvisational game based on the game invented by Grant Howitt just a couple weeks ago, written on a piece of paper and then posted to the internet. And I saw it and said, this is going to be awesome. And I was able to round up 4 amazing players to join us tonight. They have literally absolutely no idea what they are in store for tonight because they only know 2 things. They are bears, and they've got a heist to plan to steal a bunch of honey. They don't yet know what kind of bear or any details. They don't even know the rules of the game yet. It's that much of an improvisational game. So, without further ado, I am going to introduce each character, or rather each player, in turn. And at that time, as part of the introduction, they're going to roll up their bears. So, we are going to start with one of my 4 friends that are here with me tonight. She is affectionately known in the Absolute Tabletop official group as Grandma Abtab. She's a beautiful soul who draws beautiful drawings. Carol, welcome to Honey Heist. Carol, you got your D6 handy?
I sure do.
I would like you to roll that D6.
I rolled a 1.
You are a rookie. That is your descriptor. So write down rookie.
Perfect.
And then roll another D6.
Try the other one. 4.
You're going to write 2 things down. You are a black bear. And your special skill is climbing.
Cool.
Next, let's find out what your roll is. Go ahead and roll a D6 again.
Another 1.
You are the muscle of the group.
Of course.
Now, this is a very important question, Carol. Do you want a fancy hat for your bear?
Absolutely.
Roll another D6.
No surprise. 2.
You are wearing a top hat.
Perfect.
All right, while I go ahead and get the others introduced and going along, go ahead and think up a name for your, let's see, you were a rookie black bear who is the muscle wearing a top hat. All right, next in line, it looks like we've got the man of 1,000 voices. It is Mr. Chad Nick. Chad.
Hey, man, what's up?
You got that D6 ready?
I do have that D6 ready.
Go ahead and roll it up, and let's get you a bear. Let's find out what your descriptor is.
I got a 4 there, bud.
Your descriptor is you are unhinged.
Oh, chaotic bear. Oh, yeah, that sounds awesome.
All right, let's go ahead and roll another D6 to determine your bear type and skill.
Okay. Bear type and skill. And this is all in one roll, right? Just one?
Yes, 1 D6 roll.
3, my friend.
You are a panda bear. And your special skill is that you will eat anything that looks remotely like bamboo. Let's determine what your role is. And this time, I'm going to leave it up to you, players, to determine if you roll the same roll as another person. You can either stick with that or you can roll for another roll.
All right, so what? So I got to roll for what now?
You're rolling to determine your role.
6.
You are the face of the organization.
Yeah.
Now, Chad, does your bear wear a hat?
How in the hell could he not wear a hat? I mean, he's unhinged.
Let's roll another D6 to find out. Actually, you know what? I made a mistake. And Carol, you can re-roll if you want. You should be rolling a D8 to determine your hat.
Oh, there's a D8? You got to roll the D8 to determine the hat?
Everybody scrambles to find their D8s that I didn't tell them to get.
I have one kicking around here. I'll roll a D8.
I got one somewhere in this bag.
That would give me a 5 for my hat.
Well, you can choose to stick with your original top hat, or you can trade that in for a cowboy hat.
Oh man.
While you're deciding that, Chad, do you have your D8?
Hold on. No, it's somewhere in here. Jesus. That's too many. I got
Look at
too
that
many
man.
dice.
Look at that man. He's
Top
finding
hat.
his dice
Too
by
many
feel
dice.
alone.
I'm staying with the top hat.
I am finding it on feel alone right now, which is kind of stupid at this point. Come on. You know what a D8 feels like. Jesus. What's wrong with you? There we go. Okay.
Let's find out what kind of hat you're
8.
wearing.
8.
All right. I want you to roll it again.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Am I wearing 2 hats? It's 5.
Okay, now roll it one more time.
One more time. Okay. God. Okay. I'm a little nervous. You said roll it twice now. 4.
You are wearing both a flat cap and a cowboy hat.
Yeah.
Well, you have both a flat cap and a cowboy hat.
I have
You
both.
can
I have
to-
both available.
You can wear them
Okay.
like one over each ear, one on your head, one on your ass. Wear them on your feet. I don't. One's on your
Both
nose.
sides. Be like, I'm swagging on both ends. No, I'm good, man. Okay. So I am face, and I am wearing a cowboy or would you say flat cap?
Yes.
Flat cap.
All right.
All right, bud.
Next
Cool.
in line, we have a crafter after my own heart, a heart the size of Texas. It's Mr. Jeremy, aka Erasmus. Jeremy, welcome to the game. You know the
Thank you.
drill. Let's find out what your descriptor is.
Yeah, let's go for it. All right. A 6.
Looks like you are incompetent. You are
Okay.
incompetent. So let's find out next
Are we speaking mentally or
what kind of bear and skill you are. So another D6.
another 6? Man, I wish I was playing a different game.
You are the honey badger.
Oh, wow.
Honey badger don't care. And your special skill is carnage.
Excellent.
So you are the honey badger. Carnage
Third
is
roll.
your
Oh
skill.
my God, it's another 6.
Now you can choose to stick with and also be the face, or you can re-roll to choose another role.
Yeah, I'm going to re-roll. 4.
You are the hacker of the organization. You are the incompetent honey badger hacker.
Who focuses on carnage. I like it. Keyboard carnage.
And do you wear a hat?
Of course.
Roll a D8.
A 2.
You have a top hat.
Oh, excellent.
And last but not certainly most not least, that did not make any sense. Like he himself often does not make sense. He is my other half of podcasting partnership, my sometimes DM, all the time internet wife.
Mm-hmm.
Drake, the RPG construct.
What's up, buddy?
Let's find out what kind of bear you are.
Number 3.
You are retired.
Okay.
You are a retired bear. Roll up the bear type and skill.
3 again.
Now you can also be a panda bear, or you can roll again for a different bear type.
I'd like to roll again. Which one haven't we picked yet? Because I just want one of those.
We do not have a 1, a 2, or a 5.
Let's go with the 1.
You are a retired grizzly bear, and your
Okay.
special skill is terrify.
Okay.
Let's find out what your role is. We do not yet have a 2, a 3, or a 5.
Give me a 3.
You're the driver.
Already
You're a
have
retired
ideas.
grizzly bear, terrifying driver. And are you wearing a hat, sir?
I'm retired. I have to wear a hat.
Let's find out what kind of hat you're wearing. Roll that D8.
That's going to be an 8.
You are going to roll twice.
Okay. 1 2.
You also have a top hat,
Mhm.
but you also have a trilby. A
What is
trilby, not a trilby. A trilby. It's kind of like one of those little weird straw fedora things.
Oh, well, that's hot. Sure, it's like Country Bear
a hipster
Jamboree.
hat.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you are the retired grizzly
Just, I got to say something really funny.
driver.
All through high school, my nickname was actually Grizzly. So that's kind of creepy. Just saying.
Okay. All right. I am going to determine a couple things. You guys, if you don't already have them, determine what your bear names are. I am going to determine what the heist details are. Ooh, okay. This is, for those at home, just like them choosing their bears, I have some charts here that determine a few things about what the heist is going to be. And I'm determining now the location of HONEYCON 2017. Oh, this will be lovely. And now, determining something that you will find out later. All right. Another little secret that you guys don't know about. And finally, you don't know about that yet. And the last roll that I'm going to do here is, all right. Okay. I have now determined on my index card and with a few dice rolls the details of your heist. You all know what kind of bears you are. You all know what your mission is: to steal loads of honey. Here's the details of the game. Here's the rules that you need to know to play this game. Little something to write down on your sheet. You have 2 stats and 2 stats only. Your stats are bear and criminal. You have a 3 in each of those stats. Your bear stat is 3 and your criminal stat is 3. Anytime you do bear actions, you will roll against your bear stat. Anytime you do something that's criminal in nature, you will roll against your criminal stat. If the outcome does not go the way you planned, you will move 1 number into the opposing stat. I will tell you when that happens. If basically when your plan fails, you gain frustration and you will move from criminal to bear. And when your plan goes off without a hitch, you will move, that's called greed, and you will move from bear into criminal. Now you got to be careful. You got to try to keep a balance here. If you go all 6 points into criminal, you are lured into a life of crime and you will betray your party. If all 6 goes into bear, you will flip out bear style and you will lose it and probably get picked up by animal control in about 30 minutes or so. That's it. I'm going to tell you the details of your heist, and it's up to you to plan this heist. You can ask any questions. Preferably, you are all in character. Here's the truth about your bears. You are not a talking bear, per se, but you can sort of mangle human speech through your bear mouth. Maybe. But you can talk to each other. You all understand each other perfectly well. The problem is when you try to talk to humans. Obvious suspension of disbelief because of what you're doing and the fact that you are bears in an otherwise human world. But who knows who you'll run into as you attempt to steal the honey load from HoneyCon 2017, which is being held at the beautiful lakeside camp of Camp I Want to Be a Bee. What would you guys like to do to prepare for your heist? Or tell me how each of you have prepared. Let's actually start with Drake. Tell me what kind of vehicle you have secured as your getaway vehicle, as your transportation.
Well, given that I myself am a grizzly bear and we have a panda as well as a brown bear, we need something a little bit of weight. I would think a pickup truck, something that has a bed that they could, get a running start and leap into, something a little bit big enough for my size as a grizzly bear, quite large belly, preparing for winter. Got to have that room between the steering wheel. So I'd say an old pickup truck that I found in the woods and just happened to work.
Yeah, you found an old 1950s style Chevy step-side delivery truck, kind of rusted red. You can't tell where the rust of the red is rust and where the red is paint. And it's got those wooden stakes, stake sides on the back, but there's no tailgate.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And they can get a running start.
All right. We also have, I forgot what your role was, Jeremy. Are you the hacker?
Yes, the hacker.
All right. What kind of gear does your incompetent honey badger hacker have in his hacker satchel? Said that you have.
Perfect. And we're supposed to be responding in character to this? Yes?
In character, out of character, however you want to do it.
All right. So he has, of course, a couple of jars of honey, because you can't go too far with those. And he's also got a set of jumper cables and a rubber mallet. And then he's also got a very large screwdriver. Unfortunately, it is one of those ones that's like a star. So it's, not actually full for anything at all.
A Torx bit.
Yeah, there you go. And then he's got a chunk of dry ice as well. Because why not?
All of this in your hacking bag.
Yeah.
Your hacking satchel.
You don't know me.
All right. Let's move on to Carol, the rookie muscle in a top hat. The rookie black bear muscle in a top hat. What have you been doing to prepare for this heist?
Well, the Baroness, knowing that her muscle is going to be needed, has been sitting down with a big bowl full of berries, having breakfast.
That is too many puns. Too many bear puns. But I love it. The Baroness eating berries. I can barely stand it.
In a bowl.
In a bowl for breakfast. The alliteration. All right. And finally, Chad, what is your unhinged panda bear, the face of the organization, doing to prepare?
Well, Barry White Black. Barry White Black is he is obviously making every contact that he possibly can, right? Because I ain't going into this shit not knowing what the hell I'm doing. So I am grunting and growling and all sorts of shit in meeting all of my friends that I possibly can. So it's just, you see him like leaving claw marks on trees, like giving out like contacts to be like, hey, meet us at this place right here at this day on this moment, just so that we can be here at this time, because I want to make sure that all of this stuff goes off without a hitch. So basically, I feel like Barry would be just, I feel like he would be just constantly thinking He would be constantly like trying to make plans and always trying to be the con artist of the group. And then he has a rather large chunk of bamboo always stuck in the corner of his mouth, like a giant cigar, but it's just a chunk of bamboo that just sits right here in the corner of his jaw, right? So he just sits there like this, like. Now this is what we really got to do, understand? Because I know what we're about to do. Barry White could talk. This would be what he would be at.
All right. So I want you to give me a roll in criminal. And you're going to roll a d6, and you're trying to roll below a 3, because that's what you currently have in your criminal stat.
I rolled a 6. I'm not a very
what is your
good bear.
You said, however, you were chewing on bamboo. You keep bamboo in your mouth.
I was chewing on a big chunk of bamboo in my jaw.
So I'm going to let you roll another d6 and choose the lowest.
Choose the lowest. Okay, cool. So another d6. Okay, cool. So I rolled a 3 on that one, so I'm going to take the 3.
All right. So as you're kind of wandering around and making your marks literally on trees and things, trying to get the attention of various contacts to find out what you can, it's actually proving to be more difficult than you thought. Nobody wants to talk to you. And the only reason you actually run into somebody is because there's this scrawny bear. He is a really dirty polar bear, and he's dirty in the sense that his coat is just really filthy looking, but he's also a known bear pervert, and he steps in your poop while you were marking your territory, and that's where it makes him stop. And you can tell he doesn't want to talk to you, and he's like, "Oh man, I stepped in your crap. Oh, I know you. I'm sorry, I gotta go."
Hey,
what are you doing looking around here?
Wait a minute. What's your name, man? I feel like I know you from somewhere. Like, you know what's going down, right? HONEYCON's about to happen. And I know...
Barry Carlson.
Okay, Carlson, look, you and I, we got a good relationship going on, right?
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, but look, I got 2 hats. What kind of hat do you have? You got no hats, all right? You got no hats on. Okay? I got 2 hats right here. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, you really look like you know what you're doing. Wait a minute.
All right.
Wait a minute. Are you know you're planning something to do with HONEYCON, aren't you?
And I just look at him blank-faced, just dead-faced, and you hear a grunt, like, no.
Yes, you are. I knew it.
No.
I knew it. I knew that somebody was going to do something.
I didn't know.
Anybody, it was going to be Barry White, Black, and its bears.
That was not me. No way.
Well, then I guess I'll just go tell somebody else where the the HONEYCON is and who's running it.
Wait, whoa, hold up now, wait.
Oh, so suddenly you do know something.
If Barry White was about to make a move on HONEYCON, how would Barry White go about doing this? Because I really kind of want to know.
Well, first of all, you would have to know where that HONEYCON is. HONEYCON is at the beautiful lakeside camp of Camp I Want to Be a Bee. But here's the thing.
I don't want to be a bee, though. I feel like that would be very uncomfortable.
If you were a bee, think of all the honey. You'd have honey all the time. You'd eat flowers and poop honey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, that sounds about reasonable.
Here's the thing, Barry. This year, the HONEYCON is being organized by Reginald Charles Van Evel. And he wants to keep all the prize money and the honey for himself.
Von Neville.
The word on the street is
that
that he's
dude.
been skimming a little off the top.
Then how about we? Meaning you too, Carlson. You could come with us. I got an extra hat. I'll let you borrow it. You got a face for a cowboy.
Oh no! There is absolutely no way that I would be caught dead with your organization, because that's just what would happen. Is I would be caught dead.
Oh, okay, Carlson. Look,
Here's the last thing I'm gonna tell you.
that's fine.
Bye. And he runs away.
Carlson, you son of a bitch! Get back here. So, you know what? I go back to the group and I'm just like, I grunt and I growl. I'm like shaking my head and there's this piece of bamboo just shaking out of my mouth. Like, I swear to God, next time I meet somebody, I'm gonna wring their necks every single time. Just I get in the truck. I just hop in the truck and you hear the truck bed go.
And when you do that, Grumps, the grizzly bear, has fallen asleep at the wheel just because it was a comfy spot. And as you jump in and it goes up down, he just kind of jolts awake and says, I'm fine. I'm fine. And he looks over at you and, what the hell are you doing in my truck?
Hey man, I was trying to make some contacts for HONEYCON, but this damn polar bear didn't want to give me shit. So
There ain't no contacts in this truck. Trying to get some sleep.
Hey, look. All I know is he said something about Camp Wanna Be a Bee. Do you know anything about Wanna Be a Bee?
Yeah,
I don't know that.
back in my day, that place was the place to be. And he kind of laughs. He's like, what do you want to know about Wanna Be a Bee?
It sounds like this dude, Reginald Von Evil, is about to do something over there to get all of the honey for himself. I know you. I know you, Grumps. I know you all about the honey, whether you like to say it or not. I can tell by the gut you got. So do me a favor. Are you in it to win it? You want the honey for me, for all the rest of us? I mean, I could eat bamboo for days, but, you know, I'm just saying, I think it'd be good.
I get to drive
we
the
get the
truck.
crew back together. I'm not
You
going to
wanna
have
be
you
driving
doing
the
all the
truck?
running around. No, you can drive the truck. That's fine. You do what you do. I'm not asking any more of you. You just do what you do. I get my people together. We work this out, and we find that we're going to be okay. We're going to get into that HONEYCON one way or another.
He would look over at you, take a deep breath, and go, all right, I'm in. Then he would slouch down. He would take his trilby hat and just kind of over his face, cross his arms, and very quickly you hear as he falls back asleep.
Grumps, because you are familiar with Camp I Want to Be a Bee, and you knew that it was one time the place to be, I'm going to let you decide whether this is a criminal thing or, in fact, I'm going to have you roll against each of these. I want to have you roll twice.
Okay.
And see if you can learn a couple things about the camp. See what you can recall.
All right. Bear is a 3, criminal is a 6.
So, you relying on your bear memory as you're kind of drifting off and snoring, you remember that Camp I Want to Be a Bee. One thing about it is that it's a beautiful camp located alongside this lake, but it also is a camp that is used for a summer camp for criminals from the local juvenile detention center, specifically for vandals and troublemakers. And it is protected by a computer-controlled, electronically locked fence. So you guys are probably going to need somebody that can get past those things.
Okay, but I'm sleeping.
All right. Let's move over to our honey badger. Where are you and what are you doing while these guys are doing this?
Honeypot is currently hiding behind a dumpster in the park. He's waiting for some campers to leave. They've been packing up for a little while now, and he's just biding his time, waiting so he can get into their camp to find scraps and things that they may leave behind. And behind this dumpster, he has his computer set up. And by computer, I mean it's a couple of pine cones that have been stuck together with saliva, and he's not really sure what else. It was something sticky he found. And he is pressing on the little individual pieces of the pine cone that stick out as if they were keys. And he's saying, enhance, 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 just over and over.
And as these campers are finishing up packing, the teenage boy, you can see he didn't want to have to do it. His dad's yelling at him to close the back of the SUV, and he didn't want to do it. So he does this, like slams it a little too hard, and while he's not paying attention, and he doesn't see, but you see that a small cooler fell out of the back and hit the ground. And as you're poking away on your pinecone computer saying enhance, it's as if your vision on your computer screen zooms in and you can see and you can see the contents of what spilled out, that there were some honey graham crackers, there was a box of honey graham cereal, and there's a jar of peanut butter. And they get in the SUV and they run away, or they drive away. They don't run away.
No, you were right the first time. They definitely ran away because
the coast is clear.
The carnage. So at that point, he's ducked around the edge of the dumpster, having accidentally crushed his pinecone computer in his fists in his excitement. So he casts it aside and goes for the cooler. He's going to rummage all he can.
Give me a 2d6 roll and choose the lowest as you are just tearing this cooler apart.
2.
Not only have you found some delicious honey-flavored treats and a jar of peanut butter, but this cooler is a much faster and higher-powered computer than your pine cones were.
It definitely is. This is the newest model.
It's like when you flip the lid up, it's like a flip-up screen.
Yeah.
And it's an air-cooled so that it won't overheat.
Nice. Yeah, it's even got
you spy. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying he's actually going to take this little piece of an apple that also got that also fell out, that he was part of the way through eating. He's going to rub that in the mud that was spilled from the water from the cooler and stamp that on the side of it.
Excellent. You have a air-cooled Apple cooler computer.
An eye cooler.
And as you're checking it out, you actually notice across the park, you see a familiar beat-up old Chevy with a grizzly bear sleeping in the front and a panda bear leaning over from the back, kind of looking in through the window on there. And you recognize these guys. And
So, go ahead, sir.
go ahead. Oh, you go.
I was gonna say, so he's kind of jazzed up from these sugary crackers and all this peanut butter. So he's kind of hyped up a little bit, and he's gonna run over to that truck. Hey, fellas! Hey! Guess what?
And I think Barry would be the first one to look up. Hey, honey pie, what? Oh, hey, honey pie, what's up, man? It's been a long time since I've seen you before.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem that long, but you know.
Okay, hibernation, man. That's a long damn time. Okay, that's a long damn time.
Yeah. All right. So did you guys see that? You see that? You see all the stuff I scored?
Well, I do now. This is actually very, very impressive. I'm very impressed with you right now.
No. Okay, you can look a little bit.
Okay, can I look now? Is it cool? Am I good?
Wait,
I feel uncomfortable. You're making me feel uncomfortable now, honey pie.
Some people are trying to sleep.
Hey, look! Don't tell him what to do.
Yeah,
I'm the one that gets to tell him what to do.
Oh. And Grumps, just kind of moves his just big belly out from behind the wheel as it kind of rubs along the steering wheel, and he gets out, and he, as he's probably the biggest one, he walks over to the cooler and he flips it open and starts grabbing anything in it that is edible, with complete disregard for this honey badger.
Hey, what do you think you're doing? Huh? He stands up and like makes himself look as big as he can with his claws out, and he opens his mouth and kind of hisses.
And Grumps would just look at him and go, Really?
I'll tear you apart. Come on.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the Baroness is enjoying her bowl of berries for breakfast. And these berries come from a blue box. And on this blue box, in bold letters, a big headline that reads, "You can barely contain yourself for HONEYCON 2017. And it's actually written like that, getting progressively smaller, like a written echo. On the back of this box, it describes, today, the grand prize will be awarded to whoever can eat the most honeycombs at the beautiful lakeside camp. I want to be a bee. In addition to a lifetime supply of Aunt Mabel's pure honey samples, you can win Abraham Lincoln's actual honeycomb believed to be possessed by the ghost of Abraham Lincoln.
The Baroness, as she finishes her big bowl of breakfast, is getting ready to work out on the bear bells, but she sees this box, and as she sees this, she's going to use it to wipe her face with. But all of a sudden, she notices, oh, the HONEYCON. And she grabs it up and loafs over to where her other comrades are, and she says, she's like, Barry White-Black, look what I found, and hands him the box.
So have you been sitting in the back of the truck this whole time? Because that's perfectly fine.
She just goes loping up to yes, Barry White-Black.
If you've been somewhere behind in the forest, like just doing lifts, and then you just come up to the truck, I'm totally up for that. That's totally cool.
It's like
she finished her big bowl of berries for breakfast, and now she's been doing her bear bells and to get ready for whatever, and she finds this box.
It's like the start of every 80s cartoon.
Okay.
Unbearable.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Hey,
I'm not
guys.
even gonna lie. There's a cartoon out there. Just to point this out, there is a cartoon out there on Cartoon Network called We Bear Bears. It is legitimately this thing right here, right now. There is a panda, there is a grizzly bear, there is a polar bear. It is life changing if you go watch it and you play this game. The greatest.
Oh,
And as you're showing the box to everybody, you notice that it says, "Grand prizes will be awarded today. Today only. What are you waiting for? Get moving."
It's like, bears, we better go.
And then I look at it and I'm like, hey, Grumps, I don't know how much weight you can put on that gas pedal, but you better get moving because there's a whole lot of honey that we got to go get. And like ASAP. Look at this thing right here. I don't know if you can read, but I can't really read either. I see the honeycomb and I assume that means we got to go there.
And
All of a sudden, over on the roadside of the truck, you hear whoop whoop woo.
Oh shit! It's the popo. Get the hell down.
A very large bearded police officer steps out, pulls himself up out of the car, walks over to the front of the truck, pulls out his billy club and kind of on the front of the truck. "Y'all can't park this here."
And as he says that, Grumps pulls his head, which I imagine now is each side of his mouth is covered with like bits of like honeycomb cereal, and it's all stuck to his fur. And he looks up. How far away is this police officer from him?
Probably about I don't know, about 15 feet.
He would look up, and realizing the situation, he would raise up on his back legs, and all of you would hear just basically get out, but he would just hear this roar, just roar, and he would put his hands up, but as he got fully erect, as he stood fully erect, you would see him there for just a second, and then you would see him kind of lurch forward and take his left paw and like put it to his back and just kind of sit there like, oh, that wasn't worth it. Oh. But he would be trying to terrify the police officer.
Go ahead and give me a bear roll and roll 2d6 and take the lowest.
A 1 and a 4, so it's a 1.
So all of a sudden the police officer goes, hey, oh, what's that? Yeah, I'll be right there. And he walks back over to the police car and he goes up. He sticks his head down for like a half a second, and he pops back up and he goes, that was my mom. I'm at Mabel, dispatch. I got another call. I gotta go. Just move this truck. And he like gets in, and you hear whoop 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 woo, and then he just and drives off as you successfully terrified him.
The Baroness says, well, you heard the man. Let's get going.
So you guys gonna head out to camp? I Want to Be a Bee.
Is there anything around? Like you said, this is like a park or like something like that.
Oh, you said it was a park.
Okay, I said it was a park.
Somebody said it was a park. I don't know who said it was a park.
There's people there in coolers. Can we find any clothes? Can I put some clothes on this honey badger? Nothing's going to fit me. So
there's a Goodwill across the street.
I will go over there, and I won't raise up to hurt myself again, but I will let out that roar again, and hopefully everyone in the Goodwill scatters and we find the biggest pair of pants and shirt we can find and put somebody in it. And I just want something that looks like a jacket that I can like put my arm out of the car, you know.
Give me another bear roll.
Shit. One.
Okay. And give me a criminal roll.
5.
Sorry, roll 2 with that one too.
1.
All right. Yeah, you go in, and as you roar, just all of a sudden, the rest of you outside just see people come screaming out of this Goodwill. And yeah, you have free pick of whatever clothing that you want.
I'll let the Baroness pick it out.
The Baroness lumbers in and sniffs around and says, I think this one's big. Try it on. And finds this ratty old big black coat. I think it looks official.
Like a glove?
Are you dressing yourself or getting clothes for the honey badger?
I was getting a big coat for the grizzly bear, but we're looking for the honey badger too. So she
Once
pokes
I got
around
the jacket,
some more.
yeah.
Yeah, she pokes around some more and locates. These smell almost clean. A big pair of brown pants and a brown shirt. Yeah, probably more like a jacket to go with it. And while she's at it, she finds a big fancy feather and sticks it in her top hat.
The only clothing you can find that will fit the it'll fit Honeypot is there is a there's a stuffed Paddington bear.
I was gonna say I walk out with a Schoolhouse Rocks t-shirt on.
Underneath your yellow rain slicker, your yellow raincoat, and your yellow rain boots. Or red rain boots, I think. I don't remember what Paddington wears.
Squeaking.
He has a yellow hat, a blue jacket, a blue rain slicker, and yellow boots.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I have kids. It happens. And that movie came out last year. I'm just saying.
All right.
And what about Barry White here? Seeing us all come out in our duds?
I'm like, no, y'all go back in there. I want to get a suit. Get the biggest suit you got. All right. I'm sure there's got to be somebody in there that's like quadruple XL or something that'll fit my panda belly. Okay, go out there and you find it.
I could just see it. Yes, the Baroness finds him like a ringmaster's uniform with the black striped pants and a big fancy coat.
So now Barry's in the back, like, yeah, this is gonna work for me. I think this is regal. And shit.
Oh, that's you. Yes, that's you.
Very nice. I like this. He's like looking in the driver mirror, like, yeah, I like this.
Honeypot's gonna lean in kind of close to Grunt and say, "Should we tell him that the back is all split up?"
Shh! No, don't tell him.
No, all right. I'll keep my mouth shut.
I just want to make sure I've got this straight. We've got a giant grizzly bear wearing a black overcoat. We have a honey badger dressed as Paddington Bear with a Schoolhouse Rock shirt underneath it. We have a panda bear wearing, what was the panda bear wearing again? Oh yeah, the ringmaster's outfit, fully complete and torn up the backside, but he doesn't know it. And I believe that the black bear is wearing a brown pantsuit.
And a top hat with a big ostrich feather in it. Dyed
with
pink.
a big ostrich feather in your cap. Okay.
Wait,
and
one other thing. I need sunglasses. I'm driving.
You can have the aviator glasses, the pink Ray-Bans, or the comically oversized yellow sunglasses.
The last one.
Okay. Because they're the only ones that fit. Okay. Are you done robbing the Goodwill for clothes?
I've always wanted to do that, actually. Okay.
All right.
Life dreams accomplished right here. That's amazing. Yes.
The beauty of RPGs, making your dreams come true.
You hear overhead. as a plane pulling a streamer says, HoneyCon 2017 today. Grand prize, Abraham Lincoln's honeycomb, supposedly haunted by his own ghost, and win a lifetime supply of Aunt Mabel's honey samples at the beautiful lakeside camp. I want to be a bee. Former home for troubled teens. Only today. All of this on a banner.
3 miles long.
It just trails for a really long. In fact, a second plane comes by. Go now.
So, is the honey in the planes, or do we need to get something to get them out of the sky?
From what I understand, honeypot is at this camp thing. They have a picture of a camp, and there's bees and there's honey around it. So we got to go there to get the honey.
Hey, I'm just following you guys.
All right. Hey, Grumps.
Were you looking at my cooler?
Was I looking at your cooler?
Were you looking at my cooler?
Were you
He stands up and puts his claws out again. Were you looking at my cooler?
What did you just say to me, man? What did you just say?
I thought we were friends.
Hey, man, look. And as he stands up, you can hear more rips come from the panda. Like, hey, man, look. I said that I wasn't looking at your cooler. But
right, just as long as we're clear.
Cool, we're good. But you
right,
back off right now. Back off right now.
That's probably safe for you.
Right. Nobody talks to Barry White Black like that. Damn.
These claws they're nasty.
Okay, shit.
They do more than hack. They also slash.
I see that, but you use that against somebody else, not me.
Come on now, children.
I don't fight.
Let's go get this honey,
Zen
y'all.
panda. All right, I'm a Zen panda. I don't fight nobody. I'm a love bear, not a fight bear.
Come on, children. I know the way. Hop in the back. I take one up front. Let's get this honey.
The Baroness goes to climb in the back, and she holds out one of her big paws to let someone help her get in. As she's looking around, there ain't no help. She hops in by herself.
Does anybody?
I don't have opposable thumbs, so I can't help you.
Does anybody have the time?
It's honey time.
It's what?
It's honey time.
Oh, that's sweet. No, really. Does anybody? I don't know how long I slept. What time is it?
I imagine. I imagine we look up and what will we see? Jake, what time would we see? Because I assume that we're bears. We're going to look at the time based on the sun. Because we can't read. So
it's high noon.
Well, hopefully this don't take too long. At my age, those early bird specials are important.
And you now have a mission timer. In order to satisfy Grump's desire to get the early bird special, you need to complete this mission by 4 p.m.
Otherwise, it's $3 more. Just saying.
All right, so you guys are going to drive to camp I Want to Be a Bee?
I'm going to drive till probably about 100 yards from the gate and see what we see.
You are in a line of vehicles waiting to get into the parking area. There's some very bored-looking teenagers that are directing people. And you can see that the gate all the way around is this 15-foot high electrical fence. It's like every 6 feet are these cement posts, and then there's wiring running back and forth, and it's topped with like double apron angled concertina and barbed wire, and somebody has tied yellow balloons to the top of the wire all the way around to make it look more festive. And as you pull in, this teenager's barely paying attention. He's like, "Come on, man. You're next, dude. How many people?" And then he just kind of raps on the car again. He's like, "Dude, I don't have all day. How many people?"
I assume that like that would be Barry's position. So I'm going to be sitting in the passenger seat now, and he looks over, and he's got, I assume, like these sunglasses on his face that like don't quite fit. They look almost like Morpheus sunglasses on the sides of his bare face, and he's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Man, I don't know what you're saying, dude. Listen, 1, 2,
Whoa.
what? 3 adults and 1 kid. All right. Whatever, dude. That's gonna be like, I don't know, like $12.
And I look around in the, I smack my nose on the glove compartment, just, and what do I find inside the glove compartment of this truck? Do I find money?
Give me a bear roll.
Okay. 5.
That's higher than your bear ability of
That
3.
is higher than my bear ability of 3 right now.
All right, roll a d6 again.
Mm-hmm. I got a 6.
You smack into the dashboard, and the glove compartment pops open, and 6 revolvers come piling out of the glove compartment and just fall on the ground. And the kids kind of stand there looking, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, dude. I was like, it's totally free today for people in red trucks. You could go ahead. Just go." And he steps back and starts motioning you forward.
And at that point, like, I assume that as soon as they pass, I look over to Grumps and be like, "You didn't check the car? There are guns in this car right now."
Can you grab a gun? I can't grab a gun. Nobody here grab. No thumbs.
My nose hurts. This is some bullshit right now.
And I would just find a place like I'd keep driving. I'd go past the parking lot if I could, and just find like a secluded area of the camp. Just keep going down a path or something to kind of park behind something.
Yeah, you find a service road down the backside of the parking lot, and you're able to pull off into the woods a little bit. You're still outside of the main fence, but your truck is securely hidden. What are you guys going to do?
I'm gonna look at everybody and say, "Okay, y'all do your thing." And I'm gonna slouch down in the front seat and put the hat down over my face. I'm gonna catch some Z's.
All right. And then I assume that like Barry looks to Honey Pot. "All right, honey. Look, man, you got a job to do. We got to get in. We got in, but now you got to check for security. Okay, you do the security check, Baron. You go scare some kids out the way. Then Grumps is gonna sit here, and then I'll walk in and I'll find somebody else."
You got it, boss. And Honeypot's going to sit down and pop open his cooler and get to work.
All right, give me a criminal check.
5.
So you pop open your cooler computer and you're tapping away, and you're able to see this on the flip up lid screen. You see this 3D representation pop up of the park, and it just kind of does that thing where it spins in the view, and there's a dot showing where you are, and I'll let you know when to add. You guys are now in the thick of criminal activity. So this is where, based on your successes and failures, you haven't actually moved any stats yet. But now you will be moving stats based on arbitrary decisions that I make. So as this 3D representation is coming up on your cooler computer, it starts glitching. Just as you see like a red dot that says you are here. Actually what happens is, as the grid is coming in, it says, "You've got mail." And a little pop-up comes up in the middle of the screen that's an email flag.
No. He like hits the side of the cooler a couple of times. And then he kind of rolls his eyes and he clicks on it. I gotta check it.
You click on it, and as soon as you do, like 16 windows pop up on your screen, and every one of them is filled with bears engaged in all kinds of lewd activity. One of them is flashing in bright colors. You can all hear very loudly just the sound of bears frantically in heat.
Thank you, Chad.
And the website says barely legal.
Oh, good night.
Oh.
Yeah, Honeypot very quickly tries to shut the cooler and like turn it away from everybody.
And the Baroness looks, are those bears bare?
I didn't know what it was. I thought it was for my grandma.
And
it was from my
I
grandma.
hope not.
And because you are embarrassed, you will move 1 point from criminal to bear. And I will gloat silently over my wonderful bear pun. So you failed that criminal check. You're not having any luck getting the computer. You're going to have to take a little bit of time to reboot your cooler computer. Looks like it's up to you, Face and Muscle.
By the way, hearing that, Grumps would absolutely wake up, and it'd be difficult to get back to sleep after that.
Just to clarify, my stats are now bear 4, criminal 2, correct? They always
Yes.
add up to 6?
Yes. Okay. Also, Grumps, with that stuff that woke you up, are you still fully erect?
I got to get the little blue pill for that, but I'm into natural remedies, though. Yes, Jake. He is erect.
And it's at this point that I'm realizing that my son is watching the game and is active in the chat.
Erect and ready for anything.
I bet your son knows what that means. It's okay.
Yeah, but he's also supposed to be asleep. It's okay, Zach. All right.
Yes,
What are you going to do, Baroness? What are you doing?
Well, the Baroness, being pretty much a rookie at all this, she's going to go out and start looking around for all the honey. To be honest with you, that's what she's interested in. So she's headed out searching for honey, sniffing the air, looking around.
Give me a bear
grumping
check.
at any people she sees. A bear check, okay? 3.
You can smell honey. Glorious, glorious honey. So much honey coming from the other side of the fence.
Other side of the fence. Well, she's going to head that direction to see just just what the situation is with the honey.
Oh, it's really strong. Like there's more honey in one place than you've ever smelled before.
So,
Given
but there's
that
a fence
HONEYCON,
between me and the honey.
yeah, the big electric fence that Honeypot was trying to deactivate because you guys are parked outside of it.
Oh, I thought we were inside. I was
Oh, no,
confused.
no, you didn't get
I thought
inside.
that's where the teenager was letting us in.
No, he was just getting you into the parking lot.
Oh, okay. The parking lot's outside. Got it. Typical. So she's gonna go over there and just like blindly following the scent of this marvelous honey, and bump into the fence. All
Well, before you bump into it, give me a bear check.
right.
I'm
One.
gonna do this. I'm gonna do because you're following your bear scent. I'm gonna have you roll 2 and take the higher of the 2.
Okay. Well, oops. The other one disappeared. A 1 and a 3.
You bump into one of the concrete support posts rather than the metal that's electrified, but your hair begins to stand up on end, and you remember that this is an electric fence.
That's it. And shakes herself and
And
suddenly comes to herself, knowing that, oh yeah, that was electric.
You can hear from the other side of the fence, because you can see through this fence. You can see that there's all kinds of activities going on, but you seem to be, because of where you guys pulled off and around, that you're kind of on the back side of some kind of a stage area, and you can hear some sounds going on from the other side, and you hear, "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to HoneyCon 2017, where the biggest prize of honey ever to be awarded will be awarded soon. In just under 2 hours, we will be rolling out the honey for you to see. Sign-ups are closing soon for the Honeycomb Eating Contest over by the Bee Ride. Sign-ups will be closing soon."
All right, so Honeypot has a plan for dealing with this electric fence. So he's
All
going
right.
to, whoever is still near enough to listen, he's going to say, "Hey, while my computer reboots, listen, I got a plan. All right. So I got this screwdriver, right? So I'm gonna go over here. He's gonna scamper over towards the electric fence. And he's gonna show the screwdriver, hold it up above his head. He's gonna stick it down into the ground almost as far as he can. And then he's gonna dig in his hacker satchel. He's gonna pull out his jumper cables. He's gonna check this shit out. He's gonna attach one to the screwdriver, and then very, very carefully, he's gonna attach it to the electric fence.
All right, let's see how this goes. You're going to get to roll with advantage because I feel like this is definitely involves carnage. But you know what? You're a honey badger. Honey badger don't care. This is going to be a bear check.
All right. 2 with advantage. And my bear score is currently a 4.
All right. It goes better than you could have expected. First of all of you get to see for a brief few moments, anybody looking gets to see what Honeypot's skeleton looks like as he clamps on, and you just see, and after a moment, just all of a sudden, there's a boom as you go flying backwards and you smack into the side of the truck. And as you hit the truck, your cooler computer falls off of the hood where it was, lands down, flips over your head, lands into your lap, and all of a sudden it goes boots up, and your hat slips off your head, and as it floats down and lands on the cooler, all of a sudden at that moment a thing popped up on the display that said on, off, and the hat just rests for a moment and then goes bink and clicks the off button, and you see the fence where the cables are going just go. The electric fence is now off.
So Honeypot is sitting there, kind of still smoking. In his eye, he still hasn't blinked yet. And he says, "Well, that was some shit." Well, and he kind of looks down. He says, "Oh, hey, it's done, guys. I did it. Yeah, yeah."
Move one.
He starts dancing. He's like, "Who's your honey badger? This guy right here, Honeypot." Yeah.
Move 1 point from bear into criminal.
Perfect.
You could have killed so many people right now. You really could have. That was very, very.
That would have been awesome.
Very good of you at all. Not very good of you at all. But I will tell you this right now. That was brilliant. I'm surprised you didn't die.
Yeah, me too.
And then I think now he looks to Baroness. Hey, Baroness, the fence isn't lit up. Now, I'm obviously you can see that I'm tied up right now. And you just see him eating the back of the muffler like a piece of bamboo. Just obviously, I'm getting stressed out. And this is tiresome. So I'm gonna need you to ram that for me. When you do, I'll be able to go in there and sign our names up before the whole big surprise gets underway. I think that's what I'm gonna do.
Are you there, Baroness?
Oh, I'm sorry. And she kind of puffs herself up. I could do that. Yeah. And she just puffs herself up. And she's thinking, now I could climb, but that's not going to help him. So she runs over there, and first she hits it with her shoulder, just as hard as all her muscles can hit.
Give me a bear check.
It's going to be real strange.
That's a 6.
Not go back to work.
Were you aiming for the concrete?
No,
or were you aiming for the wire?
I was aiming for the wire.
So you go running and you crash into this wire, and it goes, and you kind of like you start running past the edge of the pylons, but you're getting slower and slower as this wire's stretching. You're going, and then all of a sudden you start sliding backwards, and then and you go tumbling backwards past the truck and up against the tree.
Yes, I imagine she kind of tumbles over a couple times, hits the tree, picks up her hat, kind of pats it, and looks around because she had a stash of berries under her hat, finds those, puts them on her head, puts the hat on top of that, fluffs out her feather. All right. And now she's going to go, She says, she's like, Barry White, climb on my shoulders. We'll just climb over, and I'll just climb over this thing.
Is that
You're gonna put Barry on your shoulders, okay?
You know, and seeing this, Grump has gotten back into the truck and he's actually started it up. And as they're trying to do their little team acrobatics thing there, he's just gonna slowly let off the brake and start heading towards the fence, and just slowly see if he can either knock it down or just kind of go under it, because a fence isn't going to be anything for a truck. And the whole time going, damn kids, always doing it the hard way.
All right, so you're gonna ram the fence.
Slowly and gently, so it's not really loud, but yes, for all intents and purposes.
And Honeypot's yelling, "He's gonna ram it!"
Are you guys gonna be in the truck or out of the truck when he drives through the fence?
I'll be driving.
I know you're in the truck.
I'm gonna move out the way, and I'm gonna like sidecar it as best I can. I'm gonna just like shove a claw up through the side of it and be like, "All right, Bert. All right, hit the gas, Grumps. Hit the gas."
The Baroness is going to follow. And just, just go through on foot behind the truck.
And where's Honeypot?
It goes.
Honeypot realizes that they're leaving without him as he's sitting there typing away on his cooler. He's going to jump up and he's going to try his best to keep up with these long-legged bears.
All right, you drive slowly into the fence, and you have to give the truck more and more gas as you're pressing against the wires. And suddenly you hear prang, 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 prang. As all the way up, these wires start snapping, and then the truck lurches forward and crashes into the back of this tent. And the cab, the front of this truck, just goes into this tent where you see a well, let's find out what you see. You see a female grizzly bear, and she is wearing high heels and a maid outfit. And there is a human man wearing a bear costume, and the maid grizzly bear has a feather duster in her hand, and the human in the bear costume is just pulling on over the bear costume. He's pulling on a wrestling singlet. And they both stop and stare at you.
Barry is the first to get out of the car. And Barry is still holding like this piece of like muffler in his mouth, like that cigar again. And he looks at her and goes, "Hey girl, yeah, look, I know. These humans, man, they's attractive sometimes. Sometimes you're walking around in the park. You're like, hey, boo-boo. They got that picnic basket. I'm about to rob it. But you can't do that. Now, where I come from, my name is Barry White Black. You don't need to be with this dude right now. What you need to do is you need to help us. Okay? Let him go off, be his own little thing." And I imagine what it sounds like to the human is whoa, 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 whoa.
Give me a. Let's make this a criminal check.
Trying to steal her heart.
I got a 2, so eyes as smooth as my black and white fur is right now.
Cue Smooth Criminal soundtrack.
A smooth criminal.
I didn't actually think he was going to do it, but
And the bear dressed in the maid costume, she just kind of looks back, cocks her head to the side where you can hear Smooth Criminal coming from outside the tent, and she says, "That's one of only 3 songs that they have on the karaoke tent, and it's quite annoying. I do not find this human to be attractive. I find him to be annoying, but he makes me dress up in these silly costumes for the show. I will gladly go with you.
Oh, so this wasn't a. Oh. I am so glad because I was having a whole bunch of awkward questions right now. And you just saved a whole lot of conversation.
I don't know what you thought was going on.
Well, I mean, girl.
We were just having sex. That's all.
I can see that.
Nothing weird.
There was a whole lot of bestial hormones rolling through here. Lots of bestial hormones. You were very, very attractive there right now. But I don't have time for that. Right now I got a lot of honey to steal. I mean lots of hearts to break.
Honeypot looks up from the back, or where he's kind of climbed into the bed of the truck, and he looks in the tent and he says, "Brown sugar? Is that you?" He opens his cooler up and looks at the screen again and double checks. Yeah, that's definitely you. I recognize your shoes.
Are you one of my paid subscribers?
Well, I am now.
Well,
oh my God, I died. I'm sorry. Shit.
Let's
You're welcome for that one, Jeremy.
Fantastic pitch.
I guess I should be reading the side chat.
Can we take a 2-minute break? I gotta pee. I'm gonna hurt myself.
As she says to you, well, we'll see what we can do about a private show once this all goes down. If y'all here for the honey, I've got some information you're going to need to know. And then she turns to the human and she kind of barks something. You can understand it because you understand human. But she seems to be speaking human, sort of. And he just slowly takes off the singlet, takes off the bear costume, and he is actually just wearing a shorts and a t-shirt. And the t-shirt says, "I can barely contain myself." And he gives one last look back and he leaves. And we'll take a quick 2-minute break so Drake can pee. All right. I hope everybody's having fun. The heist is about to go down. This is as a reminder, this is Grant Howitt's Honey Heist, what was originally an original 1-page adventure written by Grant Howitt, and it got posted on I first saw it on Reddit, and I believe Grant himself posted it, and another user, I don't think his name is on this sheet, so I can't give credit, but another Reddit user turned his single sheet writing into a PDF, 2-page PDF that I printed off, and that's what I'm using to run the game. You can head over to you can look up Grant Howitt. I weirdly can't remember his website right now. It's a clever name. And you can get more adventures like this, and you can even get extra special features by following him on Patreon. I know it sounds like I'm advertising for him, but that's just because I'm using his game. We don't actually know him, but this seemed like a lot of fun. I'm actually going to, at another time, in the not too distant future, I'm going to be running another Grant Howitt game called Drunken Bear Fighters, about a secret organization of Russian agents that specialize in fighting the bear menace in modern day Moscow underground. I don't even think I've picked my players yet for that one, but they're fun RPGs. There's another one I want to run called The Witch is Dead, where all of the players are familiars, animal familiars of the witch that have all been granted magical spells, and they have to try to find the witch hunter that killed their witch. They're just fun little games, totally improv. These guys knew absolutely nothing about their characters even, or the rules when they started out. And I randomly rolled the mission, and we're just making this all up as we go along, people.
But dude, honestly, I can't remember a time that I've laughed that much in an hour. I mean, like, I'm in pain. Like, I'm gonna pay for it tomorrow. It's gonna feel like an ab day.
It's an ab workout.
Oh my god. So
Sorry to break it up. I really had to
good
pee.
Lord have mercy.
But dude,
This
he recognized her from the internet site. Come on, Jeremy, that was great.
you just saw her on all those pay for
It was perfect.
pay per furs. Okay, they pay per furs. Bunch of fur cleaners.
Let's get back, yeah.
Let's not forget that his computer is a cooler that he found in the park.
Is it
And you are all dressed in people clothes. He's dressed as Paddington Bear. You're wearing a black coat
with giant sunglasses.
with giant novelty sunglasses. Barry White Black, the panda bear, is dressed as a circus ringleader, and the Baroness, our black bear, is wearing a brown pantsuit with an ostrich feather tucked into her hat. And you have just crashed into a tent where there were some steamy things going on with brown sugar and a human dressed in a bear costume. And she just sent the human off, and she says, if you guys are here for the honey, I've got some information for you. And the whole time she's talking, she keeps making sideways glances and little batting her eyes, making little flirtatious looks over at Honeypot. But she begins to tell you guys, I should have known that some of the bear organizations were going to try to make a play for this score. It's hard to pass up when HONEYCON comes to town. They say that this is the biggest haul of honey that HONEYCON has ever had. But here's the thing that nobody knows. Whatever's being put out for the grand prize is only a fraction of what the actual score is. The organizer of HONEYCON, Reginald Charles Von Evel, he's been skimming off the top. And he's been secreting it away in a bunker located in the main council's building. So you can get in the honey eating contest, and you can get that honey, but you're only going to get about 25% of the score. The real prize is in the bunker. Offering up Abraham Lincoln's honeycomb. It's a fake. It's not the real thing. I suspect Reginald Charles Von Evel has it in his bunker. So how are you guys going to go about getting this honey?
And Grumps would get out of the truck and put his kind of stand up a little bit straighter, put his arm over onto Barry, on a Barry White Black, and say, this man has it all figured out. Or at least that's what he says.
You guys are killing me in the side chat.
Yeah. I got it. I think I got it at least. But you're right. You're right. That is some interesting information. So you're saying that about 75% of this man's honey wealth is down in a bunker somewhere, like a big old honey pot underneath the ground.
Exactly.
Well then, how about girl, you show us where this honey pot is, and I'm not talking about your real one. I'm talking about going to that honey pot and then letting us do what we do. And how about this? If we get it, we we let you skim a little off the top of that whole pot full of honey. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, girl.
Well, let's see how this goes down and how well y'all do. And I might just, and she takes your Paddington Bear hat off your head, puts it on her own head, and she says, I might just claim my own honey pot.
And Barry is actually kind of jealous for a moment. Like, damn, I need to give me a Paddington Bear raincoat. This is some bullshit. I wish. It looks at himself like, am I that messed up right now? I think I look pretty damn fancy. What is?
With that, Chad, when you were kind of mumbling to yourself, I look pretty damn fancy. Grump's still keeping his arm on you, would go over to your ear and whisper and say, hey, your back end's hanging out. Maybe she didn't like what she was wearing. It looks pretty ridiculous. We just didn't want to tell you.
Why does nobody tell me this shit? This bullshit, man. Nobody says nothing. And he kind of unhinges himself, and you hear, like, I imagine that people in the park start hearing this.
And Brown Sugar says, well, Baz, you're going to have to choose. As my cousin Nacho Mini Razor once told me, you're going to have to choose between the low risk, low reward or the high risk, high reward option. Because I think you're only going to be able to go for one. Once they know you're here, the jig is up, as they say. So now you got to decide, are you going to enter the contest and try to win the prize, or are you going to go for the big score?
Well, as she's talking, the Baroness is going to walk over to her, kind of lay her berry arm across and say, us girls, we ought to stick together. And I'd like to go for the big score. And if you'd help us with it. And that's what I'd like.
Well, what about the rest of y'all?
Well, if it's only 25% out there, I probably eat all that myself.
Yeah, you probably would.
I got a long season of eating to do. The more honey we get, if we get that much, I don't have to do nothing the rest of the summer.
Honeypot says, well, he kind of walks over to Brown Sugar and he says, when I score big, real big. He kind of pats her on the butt.
She gives a grizzly bear version of a tee-hee.
You're not going to supply that for me, Jake?
Tee-hee. That's about all I can muster.
It was a thing of beauty.
Looks like we're all in.
So y'all in for the big score. Well, I can get you to the bunker. But Reginald Charles, he keeps a compliment of special special guards on hand. He calls them stingers. So you're going to have to bypass them. If you can get past the stingers, I think I can get you inside the main bunker. From there, it's just a matter of figuring out how to get it all out.
What's so special about these stingers?
They are specially trained guards, trained in a very particular form of martial arts known as wasp jitsu.
Do they know panda style?
It's a mishmash of a lot of different styles, so I don't know what all they know. But you'll know which ones they are by their trademark black and yellow uniforms.
Well, then Barry White will fit right in.
Well, you're already in disguise, so we shouldn't have too much trouble moving through the park. Are y'all ready to go?
Well, hold on. that costume that your man human servant thing had, will that fit Honeypot? Kind of make him look like a fake bear, but would it fit anybody here?
You're already disguised as humans. Why do you want to look like a bear?
Well, because it might. You guys always, you kids, you always want to work harder, not smarter. A bear dressed as a human might be easily seen. A bear dressed in a silly bear costume might be more fitting here. I don't know. That's how we used to do it in my day. Y'all don't need to listen to me. I just want the honey.
I think the bear costume would be much too large for Honeypot. It would have the best chance of fitting on either Barry White Black or the Baroness.
Anyone?
I'm good either way, but I'm about to rip out of this ringleader suit, so maybe I should take this because I realize that this is not a very and you can realize that it's like it's kind of tiny now, and it's almost ripping out of its seams. Flex one more time. I'm a break this. It's gonna break.
Yeah, I think it would be good for you to take the fake costume.
Yeah, I think
Pretend you're a
Barry's
bear,
like,
pretending to be a man, pretending that's really a bear.
yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Yep.
Bearception.
It's
So you are
unbearable bearception.
You are a panda bear that is going to try to pass himself off as a human, trying to pass himself off as a brown bear.
That's exactly
What could go wrong?
That's exactly the plan that I have in my brain. But my brain is
All right.
very small, so we will see where that goes.
You're now wearing a brown bear costume. Are y'all ready?
Unless there's another maid suit around so that I can pass off as maybe part of the act.
She looks you up and down. I think you're all right, honey. Y'all come with me. And she peeks outside the tent, and then she motions to you, and she begins walking on hind legs through the park.
Okay, I'm going to stand up and try walking on my hind legs behind her then.
All right. Is the others walking on your hind legs?
I have to walk on my hind legs because I am trying to pretend to be a human who is also trying to pretend to be a man in a bear suit. So you see me, and I feel like I'm like, how does this shit fit over here? Can you take your teeth? Hold on. Can you take your teeth real quick? And can you do what is it? I don't know what this metal stuff is. Is this a zipper? What's this? Can you take your teeth and run that up there? That's it. There we go. Oh, yep, I'm good. And he like starts shaking his butt like, does this fit here? Does it fit there? Okay, cool. And then he's like, all right, I'm gonna get up on my hind legs. Oh, I haven't done this in a long time. Yep. This feels uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. But he starts walking around like waving to people. Hi, kids.
I think Grumps would he would try to he'd try to get up on his hind legs again, but as he did, you would just hear the of just like his back cracking, just old retired bear, just not like he used to be. And you would see him walking like he had a limp or something, like it was really hurting his lower back, and he would kind of be like he would be like a weeble wobble, just walking back and forth, just wobbling back and forth, and just trying to not fall down.
What about Honeypot?
And Honeypot kind of watches the rest of them walk out, thinks to himself, this is never going to work. This is never going to work. He kind of looks down at these rubber galoshes he's got, and he says, all right, here we go. All right, here we go. And he steps out, and all you hear is,
And in the meantime, the Baroness, being really quite young compared to some of these others, is having a little trouble, but she's kind of prancing along on her back feet, pretending to be a trained dancing bear or something.
All right. As you're walking through the park, Chad, you look like you're talking, but you're muted.
Don't mind me. I'm singing Country Bear Jamboree to myself. Okay, don't let me this is
Okay.
This is my own private.
So as you're walking through the park, and Barry White Black is quietly singing the Country Bear Jamboree song to himself, you all need to roll. Let's see. Let's go just roll all bear checks. No, criminal checks. The numbers don't mean anything to me if you put them in the chat, because I don't know what your stats are. I think Jeremy's the only one that's moved. So, Jeremy and Chad. So it looks like Honeypot and Honeypot and Barry have failed.
Yeah, we failed.
So the first thing that happens is the two of you need to move 1 point from criminal to bear. And Barry, you think this is going along great, pretending to be this brown bear. And you're kind of walking along, and the kids seem to be enjoying it. The kids are like, hey, as you're like, rah, 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 rah. And you actually kind of sound like a human trying to sound like a bear. And then you see it. You see one of those carts that goes through carnivals and fairs and amusement parks where they're selling like cotton candy or whatever confections. In this case, it happens to be honeycombs on thick sticks of bamboo. And your pretense of being a human just goes away as you are suddenly, your eyes grow wide at the sight of this cart full of honeycombs with bamboo sticks. How do you react?
I imagine very like Barry's gonna try to play it cool, right? He starts to try to play it cool, and he starts to meander over to the cart as clumsily as possible, right? Because he's trying to still stay on two legs. Like, all right, you can stay on two legs, you can stay, but you gotta get yourself some of that honeycomb. That looks so good right now. That looks so good right now. Right now, this looks is amazing. And he shambles over to the cart on two legs somehow, right? And he like tosses a hand onto the cart, just slams one of the claws down on the cart, like looks at the cashier, and then like looks at the honey. I assume that there's a cart vendor there.
Yeah, there's a cart vendor there. And the vendor's just staring wide-eyed at you and just goes, if you want to get the park discount, it's a teenage girl. She's like chewing gum. If you want to get the park discount, you're going to have to show me your badge. Just because you're in costume, I have no way of knowing if you actually work here.
Whoa. And he like looks around and realizes, oh shit, she's on to me. This girl's on to me right now. I gotta do something quick. He looks around and he's like, he starts to kind of meander over to the side, and he almost wants to steal it. He almost just wants to like grab for the honeycomb and just rip it off the cart and just shove it in his mouth and be like, and run away because she can't say anything or take it. So he then looks.
Give me a bear check.
Oh, okay. You want to give me a bear? Okay, I'll give you a bear check. Because eventually I'm going to sunder it. I'm going to try to give a bear check. I got a 5.
What's your bear stat?
My bear stat right now is at a 4.
All right.
Because I failed that. Then I failed that last bear check, criminal check. So I moved up to bear instead of criminal, right?
Yeah, so you're at 4.
I was at 4. So now I'm up to 5 at bear.
Uh-oh.
If I fail right, I'm at 5 at bear.
So I just want to get this straight. You, as you made that roll, you were rolling against a 4, and you rolled a 5.
I was rolling against a 4, and I rolled a 5. Yep.
Okay. Because now you're going to move one from criminal to bear as you can't contain yourself, and you begin grabbing honeycombs on bamboo sticks, and you just rip off the costume bear head, and you just begin tearing this cart apart in total bear nature. Meanwhile, as this begins to go down, and you guys are kind of realizing that he's no longer with you, Honeypot, you turn as you're kind of in your little Paddington Bear costume with your cooler computer tucked up under your arm. You think everything's going along swimmingly, and then you hear, "Hey, Dad, that kid's got our cooler." And there's the teenager from the park that the cooler fell out of their SUV is pointing a finger at you, and his dad is now looking over at you, and he says something to the kid, and he goes, "Yeah, I think that is our cooler." And he comes up to you and he goes, "Why you got our cooler, kid?"
So instantly, Honeypot kind of tucks the cooler back behind him, almost kind of sliding it on the ground towards the rest of the group. He stands kind of up, puffs his chest out, puts his claws out, and says, "You looking at my cooler? You looking at my cooler?" You want to go around? Come on, flesh bag, let's go. I got claws. They're looking to tear something apart. Come on. And of course, what he hears is,
And when he's doing that, Grumps is gonna go up, is gonna go behind him as close as he can behind him, so his shadow will like overshadow him, and he too will like put his hands up just to give that much more of a size to him. But of course, I think Honeypot wouldn't know that he was there. He would be so involved in what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And go ahead and give me a bear roll with advantage because you're using your Terrify ability.
Three.
And your bear was 3?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, so Honeypot, you see that this dad and this kid, they just suddenly are like, hey, it's just a cooler. It's just a cooler. Just come on. You stupid part performers. Half of them are drunk anyway, walking off, and I don't ever want to see you working in one of these places.
yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Shing, shing. Walk away. Now's your chance.
And Barry, you feel a pull on your ear as Brown Sugar grabs you by your panda ear and pulls you away from the cart and says, you are going to blow our cover. And you, what is wrong with you two? Let's get going.
I'm sorry. I got unhinged. I am not a Zen panda. I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened to me. And you see he's like covered in honey right now. He's just covered in that honeycomb. Like his white and black fur is all embarrassed. In fact, parts of the costume are like matted in shame, and he looks like a dog that just got like, yeah, no, I have no self-control. I'm an eater. I have food issues. I'm so sorry. This is bad.
All right. And so she grabs you all and takes you through the rest of the park, and it goes pretty uneventful. And she leads you around behind some tents and to kind of there's like, looks like an old midway that's not being used, like where there'd be carnival games and stuff like that. And at the end of this midway, you can see a building that's painted to look like a big top tent. But it is she says, that's it. That's the bunker. And then she goes, it looks like the coast is clear. I don't see, wait. There they are. And you see, coming from either side, you see these big burly men in black and yellow striped suits. And they're carrying these billy clubs, like baseball bats almost, but they have very sharp points on the end. They look like really long bee stings as they're just kind of thumping them in their hands. And they walk 2 by 2 and they cross paths. And then a moment later, they pass back. And that's probably about 100 yards down the way. She goes, if you can figure out how to get past those guys or take them out, I can get you inside the bunker.
Are there trees around that?
There are no trees. There's just these midway buildings, like
Okay.
like stalls with different types of carnival games.
Are they solid at all? Is it something that I could climb?
Absolutely.
Because what I would like to do is to climb up on something sort of nearby and start chucking something at them. Pine cones or something. There's got to be some pine cones around. Or yeah, maybe something from one of the games. I can snatch it and climb up the building and start get them chasing after me.
Yeah, there's like ring toss games and the milk bottle ball toss and all that stuff. There's no prizes, but some of the different things. There's like the basketballs, and there's one where you like shoot water into a clown's mouth. Another one with the BB guns.
Honeypot went and grabbed himself a BB gun.
All right.
Right, and yep, the Duchess, the Baroness, is gonna grab herself a couple of the ball toss balls and see if she can scamper up on one of the nearby buildings, sort of more towards the guards.
All right. So you're gonna grab your balls and climb up on the building. I need a bear check with advantage for the climbing.
All right. Okay. I'm 3 bear and I rolled a 4 at best.
All right. You climb up on top of this row, left or right?
Is either one of those ways towards the bunker, or do they go?
Both are. They're just one is on the left side and one's on the right.
Oh, okay. I'll go up the right side.
All right. So you climb up on this basketball toss game, and you're moving across the roof, and you're slinking bear style. So I imagine you've got your balls in your mouth as you're slinking across this. You're all shaking your head at me. As you're slinking across the rooftops, and you get just above this one that had a dunk tank. When you hear and there's a crash, and you all hear a splash as the Baroness has just crashed through the roof of this midway game and landed in the dunk tank, getting soaked and for the most part trapped right now in this dunk tank. You need to move 1 from bear to criminal. And oh wait, no. You need to move 1 from criminal into bear. Sorry. And the guards come running to the end of the row, and they look down to see what's going on.
And I'm sitting in the dunk tank, gasping and sputtering and starting to try to rip the sides open so I can get out with my big bear claws.
And one of them, you see, actually 2 of them come walking down the row, and they're heading toward the dunk tank with the Baroness in it. What are the rest of you going to do?
Go ahead, Chad.
Nah, dude. If you were up first, go ahead. I don't mind. You take the first. You're Grumps, dude. Do it. Do it big.
You know, that's the thing. I don't think Grumps would do it big. I think he would just kind of lift his head up and just kind of look around, pull a paw up, straighten his oversized sunglasses, and he would, if there was nobody guarding the door, he would just make a beeline for that door where they're supposed to go to that bunker and see if he could get it open.
There's still 2 that are by the door.
That's okay.
I
would walk there like it's no big deal.
Okay.
So I guess then this honeycomb covered panda brown bear, I take the bear face that's now probably just mangled with honeycomb and everything, and I just pull it down, and it just looks like I'm one of those drunken mascot peoples. It's like and I'm trying to basically, what I'm trying to do, Jake, is I'm trying to ask these nice people, in as much human as possible, to help my assistant person out of the tank so that we could go to our thing. But obviously I can't say that in human, but I'm trying to communicate it in as much garbled English speak as I can.
The two guards closest to you, the ones that were approaching the Baroness's mistake, I guess, they hold up a hand and they stop you. And one of them points his sting at Grumps and says, "Hold it right there, Grizzly." The other one points his sting at you, Barry, and he says, "I know you're not just trying to find your way around here." He basically responds to you as if he understood every word you just said.
Oh, really? Because I was just saying hello there. Would you like to help me out with my friend here? She got stuck in the dunk tank. We were doing a charity fund, for Hairy Bears United, and I really need you to help me get my friend out because this is a berry hairs, okay? It's for berry hairs. That's me. I have no hair on my head. I need to get myself a toupee. Quickly, help me.
And the one of them looks at you and he says, "Do you think we're stupid?
Yes.
We know." Well,
Honey Pot opens fire.
we
With what?
he grabbed the BB gun. All right. Go ahead and roll criminal with advantage because carnage.
All right, my criminal is currently a 2, and I got a 2.
All right. You've got one of these BB guns that's like a lever action. It's got under the thing, it's got a pump that as you pump it, it puts enough air into it to shoot it. All of a sudden, as this guy's coming up to you, you just hear ping. And one of the guys that was talking that was about to approach Barry, he grabs at his eye and he's like, he put my eye out. What are you going to do, Grumps?
The two that are by me or that were questioning me, what did they do? Are they still there?
One of them just got shot in the eye, and the other one was pointing his sting baton at you.
With him getting shot in the eye, does that take his attention off of me?
I would say getting shot in the eye has distracted him. Yes.
I'm talking about the other guy.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, then, right there, the one that wasn't shot in the eye, I think that I would go up to him as kind of nicely as I can and kind of make the noise like, "Oh," and in that low guttural kind of as a bear, and attempt to give him a big bear hug and crush him.
All right, give me a bear roll.
So I figured
Which one were you trying to bear hug?
the one that didn't get shot in the eye.
He doesn't quite know what to make of you, and he gets caught up in your bear hug. How hard do you hug him?
I just want to hold him until he doesn't breathe anymore and then drop him so he passes out.
You hug him until he seems to fall into the eternal sleep. As you're hugging him, you just hear, and he goes limp.
Oh hell! And then I'll just drop him, and I would turn immediately to the guy that was just shot in the eye, and if he is looking, just glare again, trying to frighten him.
He actually stands up, and he just he's rubbing at his eye. He can't even open it. And he's like, "Who shot me in the eye?"
And he sees Honeypot standing there with his chest puffed out and his claws out, doing his dance. Yeah, that was me. That was a human toy. Just imagine what I can do with these bad boys. Come on. Bring it. He kind of runs over and intentionally runs into Grizzly's leg and acts like that's holding him back. Yeah, you better be happy he's holding me back. You better be happy. The eye is just a reminder. That's what you get.
You're never gonna get that, honey. Yeah, I know who you are, and I know why you're here.
The jig is up, boys and girls. The jig is up. So we might as well just and he looks at he looks at the guy and he sees the stinger. That looks like pretty sure that looks like a bit off piece of bamboo right there. You stealing my bamboo right now. I don't feel comfortable with that. I don't know how to handle this. And he takes a moment and he looks this dude up and down. You're stopping me from getting to that honey. This is about to happen. I'm just warning you right now. I'm giving you an opportunity to run. You can either run right now, or I'm about to eat that hand off, because I'm gonna eat that whole thing of bamboo that's in your hand.
He just kind of looks down at his hand like, this isn't bamboo. This is what it can do. And he takes a jab at you. Make a bear check to see if you can dodge out of the way.
I was at a 5 and I got a 5, so I stayed the same, right?
You dodge out of the way and you're able to take a bite out of the stinger. You decide if you bite his hand too.
I imagine that this panda, like, just looks at it and he just pretty much grabs the man, pulls him forward, gives him like this, come here, you, right now. And then just puts the stinger in his mouth and just like realizes the hand's all the way down. He doesn't even care. He just starts and crunches down. And I imagine there's like a grizzly scream and he's like, this is the worst tasting bamboo I've ever tasted in my life. What the hell was that? This is uncomfortable.
You, as the Baroness is able to clamber finally out of the dunk tank and come soaking wet out of the midway game area, is right about the time that Barry bites off the hand of the stinger guard. And you hear from the far end where the other two stingers are guarding the door. You hear the clattering sound of a couple of those sting batons dropping to the ground. And you hear, F this, ain't nobody said they'd be actual bears. I thought it was like a code name. They don't even run. They just walk off, and you just hear them talking as they're going off. They're like, I thought it was like some kind of criminal organization that went by like the Bad News Bears or something like that. Ain't nobody said they were going to send actual bears. Did you see? He bit Carl's hand off. They shot him in the eye with the BB gun, and they bit his hand off. Screw this. Ain't no amount of honey worth this. Why in the heck are they paying us in honey? This ain't no way to make a living. And then their voices kind of fade as they walk off.
Seeing that, the Baroness, now I've got it backwards. The Baroness is like, hey, there's no guards. I'm going in. Come on, everybody. And she's just going to head straight for the door and see what's down there.
Where's that? Where's brown sugar?
Good question.
She's been standing down at the end of the midway.
Well, it's time for her to get into the act here.
As Honeypot is walking past poor Carl, he dips his claw into some of the blood and like paints it on his face like war paint. And it kind of points his finger at him, his claw at him, and then just kind of slides sideways out of view.
Which would work great if there was an actual camera, but you guys just see him walking to the side until he bumps into one of the midway things. And the Baroness, you walk up to the door and you see that there's a pretty solidly built door there. And you see that there is a keypad next to it. So you have to determine if you guys are going to try to hack into the door or if you're going to try to break through the door.
Well, remembering that we still have the coolest ever computer. She motions to her. Yes. Dear. She motions to Honeypot. Honeypot, get over here. I think this is in your realm.
He comes running over, carrying the cooler. Yeah. I got this. This is a piece of cake. He pops open the cooler and he gets busy.
All right. And as you begin running your scans, you see that this like 3D green screen wireframe version of the door and the door lock appears on your screen, and it zooms in, and you see these little points start pointing to different numbers, and it's kind of like going, and each number's lighting up. And you see that after a moment, each one kind of lights up and it goes boop, and a number boop, and all of these numbers light up and in sequence so that you can see that the access number to get in is 4 6 6 3 9, which are the letters that correspond with the word honey.
Naturally. So, yeah, I got to figure it out. All it's going to take to get in is just a little bit of honey. What's the code? 46639. I told you it was a piece of cake. He closes the cooler.
Did someone say cake?
And
No,
Baroness,
he said honey. He was talking about honey.
And Baroness, as he says this, you can now actually see on the keypad that there's like honey sticky marks on those same numbers. But now you know what sequence to punch them in.
All right. Well, she takes one big old claw and starts punching numbers 4 6 6 3 9.
And all these locks start coming undone. And the door goes, and the door is now unlatched.
Send brown sugar in first.
Are you saying that?
No, I'm just sorry. I thought I was muted. My bad. I was just thinking out loud. I hate muting myself, dude. I'm always the DM. I never mute myself.
As Drake thinks aloud.
That's not a bad idea.
It's like the Baroness can read your thoughts.
And
Hey, Sugar, look, why don't you go in first and I'll follow right behind you.
Well, I don't know if I'm equipped like y'all are.
Well, you
I
said you knew
feel,
your way around.
well, I do, and I got you this far. And once we get inside, well, I just feel better if one of you big strong types was ahead of me.
I'll be right behind you.
Very well. And she opens the door. It opens up, and the scent of honey is just wafting out from this door. And she begins to lead you in, and it's actually kind of a long hallway. Everything is lit in just golden, soothing light. And as you emerge, on or sorry, as you enter into this tunnel, does everybody come in?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll go right
Okay.
behind her.
Okay. The tunnel continues on for about 20 feet, and then it kind of opens into this area that's kind of like a balcony, I guess, like a mezzanine. And you see that the bunker actually goes downward, and you can see that across for like 100 feet. And as you come up to the edge of this thing and you look down, it's as if you are in Scrooge McDuck's vault. And this thing is filled about 3/4 of the way with jars of honey, giant honeycombs, and just honey in every honey delivery method possible. And in the midst of it all, you can see a man with one of those stereotypical kind of twirly mustaches. And that's the only thing he's wearing as he is reclining in amongst all of this honey. And he says, you can hear him talking to himself, monologuing. They have no idea that for years I've been skimming off the top. And finally, the greatest honey caper ever, as I seem to give them what they want, more honey than they could ever imagine. Little do they know that the greatest honey score ever was right under their noses. And now it's all mine. As he seems to be talking to nobody in particular but himself.
How far is he away from us, Jake?
He's down probably about 20 feet.
I would take off my jacket, but leave my sunglasses on.
Okay. Baroness, what are you doing?
Then she's gonna step forward and stand up on her back legs and stretch out her arms and give a big ol' roar at him. She's gonna get his attention. See what he does.
All of a sudden he just kind of starts, and he grabs a honeycomb and covers himself with it. What? Bears? There's bears in here. Where are my stingers?
Barry wipes some blood from his mouth. I'm sorry. One of your stingers got in my mouth, and I had to bite off his hand. It was uncomfortable. Hardest thing I ever had to swallow. But for real though, we're here to steal your honey. like just I don't know if you can understand me because your stinger boys can understand me. So I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it, honeycomb. We're gonna steal your honey.
And behind you, I need everybody to make a bear check.
Six.
So, so if I was at 5 and I stayed at 5 on the last bear check, and then I got a 6 now, does that mean that like if I would be at 5-1 and then now I go to 6-1?
No, you're going to go to 6-0.
6-0. Okay, or
You're going
so 6
full
and 0.
bear.
Full bear. Unhinge this bear right now.
So here's what happens. As it looks like, wait a minute. Oh, I was like looking at your rolls, and Carol wrote lunch, but that was a different thing. So it looks like Honeypot is the only one who succeeded. As you hear behind you, I'm afraid he can't understand a word you're saying. He doesn't speak bear, but luckily I do. And you hear the sound of a zipper being undone as Brown Sugar removes her bear costume. Oh no, when you all moved to the mezzanine, she didn't move to the edge. She was in front of you down the hallway, and then you guys kind of walked out into this mezzanine, and she slowly slipped backwards, which you might have noticed had you passed your bear check. And she says, "You bears are so gullible. You're all now going to work for us. You're going to help us add to our honey pile. And all of you that failed need to move from where'd my sheet go? You failed, that's a frustration, so you move from criminal into bear. So is anybody else moved all the way besides Barry?
I think I'm full bear
No.
now.
I've got 1 point left.
Barry, what do you do as the situation pushes you over the edge and the powerful scent of honey begins to just tick your bear chart right off the scale? What does it look like when you go full bear?
So when I go full bear, is a cross between two things. It's a combination of that Winnie the Pooh honey lust and like a picture of Kung Fu Panda when he sees dumplings, right? And it's just like my eyes go wide, they go solid black, just straight primal black. Just and you just start seeing me I don't even care. Tranquilizer darts, bee stingers, whatever. Just get out of my way. I'm going to like rip into that honey. I'm going to rip into like, if there are parts of his throne room or whatever it is, if they look like bamboo, I'm just going to be taking off pieces of honeycomb and just like straight up funneling honey down my face, just everything. And it's just like I'm taking a bath in honey at that point. Just
all right. And Brown Sugar looks at you going full bear. And the rest of you can see as she begins to raise the shotgun that's in her hands. And she says, and where her bear paws were, they're like flipped backwards, like hatchback gloves. And you can see her human hands as she's fingering this shotgun. And she looks over at Barry and she says, I'm afraid there's not going to be any animal control for him. And there's a sound of thunder as you hear a blast from a gun. Everybody, give me a bear check. You all notice as your eyes quickly flip over to Barry, the innocent, now feral, pure bear, frolicking in the honey. And the echo of this gun blast reverberates around the honey vault. And you realize nothing has happened to Barry. And you turn back to look at Brown Sugar, where you see a blossom of red forming on the front of her maid outfit through her bear costume, just blossoming out. And she suddenly goes, It looks like a rose. And then her eyes roll back in her head and she collapses to the ground. And you see in the hallway at the end, or at the end of the hallway behind her, the bearded, overweight cop that told you to move your truck earlier, standing there holding an assault rifle. Behind him are about 30 SWAT team members. And he looks at you and he says, that was a close one, Agent Honeypot. I thought for a minute there she was going to get you guys.
Yeah, it's about time you showed up. I was starting to actually kind of sweat there.
You know we had you six from the beginning, Honeypot. We'd never let anything
Yeah.
happen to you.
Well, at least it wasn't like Beirut.
He slings his rifle and he says, ain't nothing like Beirut. You
That's
never
the
want to go
truth.
back to that place.
Not in a million years. Not for all of the honey.
Well, it looks like everything's under control. He looks down in there and he says, as you see SWAT members coming in from a lower area in and securing Reginald Charles, and he says, it looks like Reginald Charles will be going to the big house. And he looks around at the rest of you and he says, now I know it's not exactly the score y'all were looking for, but on our way here, we cleared out the park. We secured the area. And over in the blue and white striped tent is where they were going to hold the honeycomb eating contest. Ain't nobody inventoried that honey yet. You were instrumental in helping with this operation. So if you bears were to disappear and that honey were to disappear with you, nobody'd come looking, if you catch my meaning. Honeypot, you're going to need to go with them. This next mission, we're going to need all y'all to go deeper undercover. And don't worry about Barry. We'll rehabilitate him, and after a good hibernation, he should be back to somewhat normal as you see a couple of like stereotypical cartoonish zookeepers with the white outfits and the white hats and the big giant net, and they put these big nets over Barry, and one of them has the thing that goes around his neck, and they start leading them along. And as y'all are walking down the hallway, the cop just turns to look at you and he goes, "Hey, honeypot, you look like an idiot in that outfit."
Yeah, you know, sometimes a honey badger's got to do what a honey badger's got to do. He turns around, squeak, 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 squeak.
And as the cop just puts his hands on his hip and is shaking his head back and forth, the camera irises down to black. The end. Oh my word.
That was horrible.
What the frig was that?
Dude, I want to play this game every day just because it's that absurd and it's all improv, and it could have gone any which way depending on the players you have, and this was beautiful, man. It was so cool because it's so minimalist, and yet there's so much that can be done because of the improv ability.
Guys, we broke into a Goodwill and stole human clothes.
Our bears.
And apparently a retired grizzly knows how to drive a car.
And you don't need thumbs to shoot
You
guns.
don't need thumbs for anything, apparently. And
I hacked shit
for
with
the
a
viewers, well, for the viewers, I kept putting, every time somebody tried to do something, I kept putting no thumbs in our side chat. Carol was getting mad at me. But I mean, like,
I was just like, Craig, nobody cares.
Yeah, never mind the fact that you're driving a car.
Hold on, let me put my claws through the 10 and 2, and then
Seriously,
just...
just a thought, guys. Okay, I think all of us are going to be at AtCon.
Oh my gosh!
Into Friday night, get completely smashed and play this at the restaurant. The five of us. Again, come on.
I will not be
stay
but I
close
will
by.
totally do that. I will totally do that.
You're normally plenty mad.
I am totally messed up even without being drunk. So
Exactly.
yeah.
If I have a place to stay close by, I might do that.
That would be
Otherwise, I won't get
hilarious.
smashed. I'll just do it anyway.
What time is the meeting on Friday? What, like at 6 o'clock, right?
Yeah, it's like 5 or 6.
Well,
Yeah.
Let's talk about the AtCon stuff
Yeah.
afterwards.
Sorry.
Oh no, that's fine.
We're still on the air.
Tangent.
So the normally I would point out certain things that were like just made up on the spot, but this entire game was made up on the spot. Every single thing that happened, every single thing that we said, every result was completely improv by myself and by these amazing players. Either you guys came up with something and I ran with it, or vice versa. Honeypot took the random thing that I threw out about from the failure of trying to hack the fence and turned it into, all of the bear porn spam that appeared on his computer. Threw me for a loop with that brilliant brown sugar. You recognize the bear, and I had decided that she was going to be something, that she was a human in a bear costume before you guys started saying something in the chat. But I just kind of at the last minute decided to bring that police officer back, and it wasn't until the words were coming out of my mouth that I realized that Honeypot was an undercover agent. That's the brilliance of these kind of games, is you just think on your feet and you just make stuff up.
Well, and I think that's kind of the genius of this. I mean, all of us here play a lot, for lack of a better phrase. I don't play often. I usually DM, but it just kind of gets me thinking. I generally do pretty dark and serious games, and I'm kind of thinking, well, maybe I should try to push myself and run a game like this that's just completely ridiculous, because I know I can improv, but just get the right players. And I think it's really dependent on your players, though. A game like this.
Yeah, and you guys are all brilliant with this. I'll just tell you a couple things real quick. You guys did not get a thief or the brains of the operation. The other couple of bears you could have had were a sun bear that has sense honey and a polar bear that has the swim ability. You could have also had a fez, a bowler hat, or a crown. And then for some of the things that could have come up for location, I rolled the convention organizer was greedy and wicked. The HONEYCON is being held in a beautiful lakeside camp, but it could have been something that was creepy, busy, rundown, beautiful, dangerous, or lavish. It could have been held at a lakeside camp, a fishing village, a metropolitan city, a convention center, a truck convoy, or a wilderness retreat. And then aside from loads of honey, the prize is, and there's things like a briefcase of pure Manuka extract worth $5 million. I don't even know what Manuka extract is, but I'm sure we would have come up with something amazing. The Queen of All Bees, once exiled, is now returned, is another option. Miss Universe 2017, an especially attractive bee. Those are just a couple of the additional prizes. And then there's this thing called But Little Do the Bears Know. And I rolled The Bees Are Angry, but there was just never a place where that came into being, so I kind of ignored that. But in a way, I think I kind of went with number 4, They've Been Set Up. Oh, here's one. It could have been, look, a rival team of bears. That would have been fun. And then I rolled twice to determine of the 6 different security features and came up with electronically locked doors and an impenetrable vault, which proved to be penetrable. But yeah, that was an absolute blast. All of you. It sounds like everybody had a lot of fun. Zach, if you're still watching, go to bed.
By the way, Jake,
yeah.
Manuka is a typo. It's a very expensive honey.
Okay, worth
Just
$5 million apparently.
Yep. I Googled it. Oops.
So I want to say thank you to everybody who watched. We had a pretty steady stream of right around 7 or 8 viewers. And a few people in the chat. Nacho Mini Razor, Fireplug, a couple of us. There was either Harry or Lionel, I'm not sure which. Probably Harry, because I think Lionel was running a game. Was in the chat earlier. So thank you to everybody that watched the game. Thank you to everybody that is watching. I'll put something down in the description, or as I call it, the beard of the video, with a link, if I didn't already, which I may have, a link to Grant Howitt's website, where you can get this game and other RPGs that he's created, some of them free like this, and just have fun. Like Drake said, sometimes you just want to break away from the usual D&D, which by no means am I insinuating it's not fun. I think we all enjoy our hobby, but it's fun to just kind of go with a minimalist, absolutely slapstick game where you just, anything can happen, no matter how ridiculous it is. And this was just amazing, and you guys just made it that much more so. So why don't you each give me a sign off, plug what you want to plug, and we'll get out of here and go enjoy some nice honeycombs. Drake.
I am Drake. I run the YouTube channel, The RPG Construct, and I am half of the podcast team with Jake here on something RPG-ish, which we should be releasing our next episode tomorrow or the next day, just on varying things with RPGs. That's a lot of fun. Basically, Jake and I just insult each other for an hour. That's pretty much it. On my channel is a campaign that Jake is in called the Dragon Grin Chronicles. We are doing session 8 in a few weeks. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for having me.
All right, Jeremy.
Yes, sir. Hey, everybody. My name is Jeremy. I do have a YouTube channel. It's just my name, Jeremy, and the last name is Lilley, Lilley. I do have live plays over there. That's about really all that I have on there. Matter of fact, I'm running a game tomorrow night that Jake will be playing in. It's my version of Oath of the Frozen King. It's a adventure kit playtest put out by Abtime. And yeah, I had a hell of a time, man. This was I expected it was going to be goofy, but I did not expect for my cheeks and the sides of my body to hurt by the time that we were done. I had a blast. So thank you very much for running this.
Chad.
Man, I don't even know what to say, honestly. Okay, this game is absolutely bananas. You need to play this game right now. Like, everybody, every single person, go out, find this game, get a group of your best friends together, and go play this game because it's absolutely bananas. But no, for real, I love you guys. This was absolutely the most nuts game I've been in a very long time, and I would totally play this game again, like tomorrow night, the next night. Probably not as Barry White Black, because God, my voice hurts now. I can feel it in the back of my throat. But definitely one that I would recommend to other people. But for you guys out there in the interwebs, my name is Chad Nick. You can find me at YouTube at Chad Nick, K-N-I-C-K. I run games. I do voiceover stuff. I'm probably going to put a lot more voiceover stuff here in the next couple of months up there so you guys can see that. And then I'm also doing game reviews over at gastrogamer.org. I do accessibility reviews for disabled children and for disabled veterans and stuff that need to learn, that need help figuring out what games that are easier to play and do stuff. Because of my game design background, I use that to try to help them learn those kinds of things. It's really awesome. I enjoy doing stuff like that.
Awesome. And Carol.
Yep. I'm Carol. I don't have anything of my own to promote because mainly I play and hang out with my friends, but I do want to say check out Absolute Tabletop, their official Facebook site, because that's where all these great people get together and run games. It's a very friendly and creative community. And I mean, these guys are just absolutely fantastic. Jacob is great. He's a wonderful DM. Drake's a wonderful DM. Jeremy's a wonderful DM. Do you run games, Chad? Have I missed out?
Here's the thing. I do run games, but because I'm like constantly playing in other campaigns right now, I have like very zero downtime. I'm in three.
Hold on. You kill it in all of those campaigns. You
all
just
right.
keep playing.
Chad's a fantastic player. In Drake's campaign.
I'm in 3 campaigns right now. So the downtime I have when I do have time is like getting to play in games like this that are minimal and small. I can run games like this stuff. So I'll probably be running one of these on the channel at some point.
I'm willing to bet you're a fantastic DM though, because you're a great player.
I don't have that skill level yet, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna test it out this year. We'll see. I will definitely test out being a DM more this year for sure.
Awesome.
Hey Chad, I'll show you how to be DM. You show me how to be a player, because I kind of suck as a player. So it all works out.
Man,
You guys are idiots. You don't suck at anything.
Hey, whoa, hold up now. Hold on. He was flirting with me right now. All right, look.
You gotta watch that.
Hey, wait a minute.
Want to find my zipper?
You want to be a better player? I will totally let you find my zipper right now, and then you can tell me how to be a better DM.
No.
On that note, all
I'll tell you
Jake,
what.
wrap it
Why
up.
don't you go off air and then we could be even worse?
If you want to know how to be a better player or a better GM or learn a few things, you can also check out mine and Drake's podcast.
Yes.
Something RPG-ish. Go to facebook.com/something RPG-ish, or find us on iTunes or Podbean at something RPG-ish. where we give you tips and tricks as a GM and a player. I want to thank each and every one of you for participating in this game, and everybody for watching that watched us tonight or that's watching later on. As Carol said, be sure to check out the Absolute Tabletop official group on Facebook if you want a chance to get in games like this with any one of numerous GMs over there. And be sure, if you're not already, to subscribe right here to Mini Terrain Domain for more live games like this, but also crafting and other things coming in the future. Thank you for watching. Remember, imagine, build, play. I've been Mini Terrain Domain. Mitada.